G'day all, welcome back to Dad vs Son and our playthrough of the campaign of Fortress Europa from Compass Games. And we're about to go on with the first turn in September. So turn 13 as such. Now, before we go any further, some stuff that I've been screwing up. Righto, let's just put that over there for a time. And I'll come back around here and go through all the stupid things I've been doing. So, first up, it's been pointed out to me by a couple of people who quite rightly said I've been using 3 forces in the rough area here, and it's only supposed to be 2. So I will try and remember that in future, but for the attack on Cherbourg, I'm still going to continue doing it, okay? But only there, and I will try and do it properly everywhere else. So apologies there. The second thing is when I took Paris, I forgot to then place the Paris garrison in there. It says that these units enter the game on the turn after Paris is occupied by Allied units, but never before the August 1st turn, and they appear in Paris. So we have 3 infantry units for the French in Paris. So they should have come on last turn, not this turn. So, but again, doesn't really matter too much. It just would have let me move some other people out a little bit faster. Thirdly, with the air. Now, what I've been doing is if I end up with the German air in ground support, what I've been doing is I've been using it to offset any Allied tactical air. Now, that's wrong. TAC air here in ground support is only supposed to be used in attack, not necessarily defence. However, being the bloke I am, I'm going to continue to do that because I believe that I'm going to house rule it, and that the Germans are basically offsetting the attack by attacking the attackers at the same time. Because let's be honest, the Germans really can't put any attacks in as such, unless they're really shitty ones. So I think giving them the chance to actually offset an attack like they've been doing, especially at Cherbourg, is a better use of their limited resources. What else? I think that's all of it at the moment. So apologies for all those. So like I said, I'll try and get it right. I'm still going to use the 3 in the rough in Cherbourg, because otherwise it's thrown out everything I was trying to do up there. And the chances of ever taking Cherbourg are virtually nil, which is just rubbish. The air, I'm going to continue to house rule it as I am, and the Paris troops are done. So that's all well and good. So let's get into it. And of course, the first thing is to move the turn record track, and we've done that. So we get over to the weather, and we are now in September. Righto, so let's just bring it over here. As per usual, it makes it a bit easy to see what's going on. We do our roll, and we get a 2, which is still clear weather. Yay! And we rejoice. And then we go into the air allocation phase. Righto. So again, I'll pause it there, do the Allies, and then come back for the Germans. Won't be long. Rightio. So again, I've got the 2 British bomber commands up on the V1 sites, waiting for Patton to still roll them up. The 2 American SAC are on attacking German reinforcements, so we still want to do that. 1 on counter-air, 1 on bridge attacks, and the other 5 TAC are on ground support. Now, the Germans start with 4 aircraft for this month, so we're just going to roll a die, and 1 to 4 is what they get. Nope. 3 for this one. Okay, 3 of their 4. And let's see what they're going to do. So first one is a 1, which is ground support. The second is a 4, which is German replacements. So both of those make sense. And the last one is German ground support again. Okay. So they have 2. So one of them goes away. And he goes away. And he comes into ground support. And he goes away. And one of them goes away. And that means the Germans will get at least 1 infantry replacement. Righto. Next up is the Allied replacement phase. So again, I will do a count off camera and make sure that what my actual supply capacity is, because I haven't factored in the 3 French forces that I've put there in Paris yet. So shan't be long and we'll be back. Rightio, so back again. I've done the recalc and we have a supply capacity free at the moment of 15. So that's good. So we look at our replacement table for September. Again, the Americans get 3. So I'm going to give them 1 armour and 2 infantry. And the Brits again get 2. And I'm going to give them 1 of each. So there we go for that. We do get some extra troopies this time, which is good. And we'll have to work out if we're going to bring them on and where we're going to bring them on. And hopefully we can bring Dempsey back as well, maybe. So life could be good. So we've done that. Now let's look at what needs replacing. And if we come over to the Americans first, we have 1 armour that needs replacing there. They're all good, 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 good. They're all good. Okay, so let's do that 1 armour. Hairy arms in the way. So like that. And then we have 2 infantry up here, but I don't want to do replacements on them at the moment because they're right up here under Hodge, and if I do that, they can't attack, they can't move, they can't do anything. It's just going to be a waste, so I'll move them back so I can move other forces forward. So 1 armour for the Americans. Down south, everything is good for them. So just the 1 armour. which leaves them 3 armour and 3 infantry. Then looking at the Brits, we can't give anything to Canadians. Well, we can't give anything to the miners. Simple as that. We can't give anything to the French, is my belief. And all those are good, but we do have, what, anything that we can spend it on? I don't have anything broken there, but I can spend it on. In fact, the Americans are going to spend 1 point on the 5th Infantry Division, which is back in England and waiting to come forward as well. So that will leave them 4 tank and 3 infantry, I should say, which is good. And that's it. So that's our replacements. Right, so partisans, are they really going to be much good to us at all? Well, maybe. Let's have a roll and see. And we get them. Okay, so partisans. So if we look this way, which is probably the bestest way to look at the moment, my thoughts are of moving these forces up towards this way and trying to punch through here, in which case putting the partisans down around here somewhere would be handy, because it stops anything even moving down towards Lyon or Valence or Grenoble or anything like that. Where else could we put them? Can't put them within 5 of them, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's not going to make much diff. The other place is to maybe put them up. Well, we can't put them in Brussels. We're only going to put them in France. So it would be into this sort of area, which I don't think is any good at all. So we're going to chuck them right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And our partisans are in Besançon. I don't know. I don't speak French. My apologies. Okay. So that is done, and we get into the Allied first move impulse. So what do we want to do? Let's start to the south here. Right. So I want to try and take out these forces down here, but what do I have to do it with? So I've got here 1, 6, 7 over the river. I can bring forces in this way, and I can attack in here, which would be good. So then they just are 7. So if I bring these fellas over, that gives me 15, but I can't bring them all over at the moment. I can only bring them to there because we're in mountains. So that's that. So they've got 7 and I've got a whole 6 here, so I don't really want to bring them forward at the moment. In fact, anything, 1, 2, I'm going to actually bring them back 1, 2 to here. And that way, if these guys move into there or there, which they probably won't because they're not stupid, then that'll be fine. That's the other thing I was thinking of. I keep moving headquarters units in the first impulse. Again, apologies for that. So I'm trying not to. Okay, so the other thing we can try and do now is to maybe push the French over in here to knock these guys out. And we can move this little fella here for 1. And this bloke can go 1, 2, 3. And we go 1 to there. And 1 to there. We leave him behind. We have a 4, a 4, and a 5. There we go. We go 1 to there. Now that gives us 5, 11, 16, 18, 22 to 7, which is a 3 to 1 straight up. But we can bring this guy forward, 1, 2, and this guy forward, 1, 2, and that gives us a 4 to 1 straight up there, which I think is pretty damn fine. And this cuts off their retreat, which is, I think, very important. Right, over to the east. So Monty's going to be able to move 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't want the... Oh, in fact, my bridge attack person was going on the river here to stop them crossing over here. So if I move these fellas forward, he goes 1, 2, 3, 4. You can go into there for 5, or you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can only move 4, so that puts us here, which is pretty good. We have 7, 15, 21 today. And we go 1, 2, what do we got here? 3, 6, 7 lots. I need to get up here. And I get caught there. I go 1, 2, stop. And then I can go this way, or this way later. So we'll go 1, 2, 3 to there. And we bring this little fella forward, 1, 2, into there. So he's just helping to block out there, which I think is fair enough. Right. Then we have our Canadians. You can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4. And I think this bloke will go 1, 2 into there, like that. So we've actually cut that rail line there. And we have our poles. Go 1, 2, 3. We've got coming down here 8. Yeah, I've got to do something about them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I take these guys over, that gives me 12. Yeah, I might need to rethink this. So he was there, they were there. I think we need to take these out first. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. They're all allied minor, so they can all fight together. And we can try and take those out. Right, now up here around Lille. I think what we need to do is just really cut these blokes off at the knees. Okay. So, let me move this around this way. It might be a little bit better. Okay, so I've got 6 and 6. There is 12. And I'm thinking of maybe taking out Gant. I don't want to be hit up the bum from Brussels. What have they got there? 4, 7, 10, 11. In the city is 22, which is pushing things at the moment. Okay, so these two here will go 1, 2. He can't move. Patton's getting all jumpy. So that gives me 12 to 10, but they're doubled at the moment. This guy will go 1, 2 to get around behind him. That's 20 to 10 is a 2 to 1. And if I bring these two around as well, 1, 2, like that, then that's going to give us a 3 to 1 there, straight up. Now if I punch this bloke, 1, 2, 3, this bloke's only got 2. I can take that out, surround him a little bit more, and then he's got nowhere to retreat other than there at the moment. So we go 1, 2, 3. Okay, which leaves Bradley and his people here to come forward. And they can go 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's okay, they can't attack across there. So this little fella can go into there and destroy that V1 site as well. And this little fella here can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 to there. Like that. And this little fella can go 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. Righto, which brings us back to Cherbourg, where I'm cheating slightly. So we have 1, 2, 3 there, that's good. Hodges stays where he is. These two here pull back. And these two here move forward. Like that, and we still have him there, which I think will move. He's just going to go over to there, like that. Okay, so then what we have is what we can bring on. And we have Dempsey and his people that can come on. And we're picking up this time. Let me show you. We're going to pick up the 9th Armoured Division, the reduced 17th Airborne Division. We get the 14th Armoured Cav, 14th, yep. We get Simpson as a leader, and we also pick up the French 5th Armoured Division for this turn. Right, so I don't really need to bring on them at the moment, so I'm going to leave them in Africa. England. Dempsey moves from Africa to England this time, so he can come on next turn. The airborne I'm going to leave in England, which leaves these 3 units if I want to bring on, and I can bring them on into Le Havre because it's a port. So we'll do that. So we've got Simpson, we've got the 14th Armoured Cav Regiment, and we've got the armour coming into Le Havre, who can move. That's 3. 1, 2, 3 leaves us a supply capacity of 12 at the moment. So he's got to stay there. That's fine. This guy can go 7. He can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this guy can go 6, so he'll go down to Amiens. And Simpson stays in Le Havre for the moment. And that is that. And we have finished the first moving pulse. Is there anything else I want to bring on? Oh, I do have the 79th Armoured Division that I could bring on. I could bring them into Le Havre as well and then just move them out. And they could start moving down to support the others. I've just upgraded the 15th, so I can bring on the 50th. So that's 2. And we'll bring on the 4th Armoured Brigade as well. So we're going to bring on these units here. I don't have another leader to bring on at the moment, but that's fine. So I'm actually going to bring these ones on, but I'll bring them on here. In this port, Caen. So bottom one. Okay, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and these can both move 6. Well, that's not going to be any good, is it? I need a leader for him. He can't move fast enough by himself. 50th. Whereas these guys can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then they're still good with Bradley. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. So that's 2 more, which takes us down to 10. Okay, so I'll set up the combats, and then we can come back and have a look-see. Won't be long. Rightio, so we've got a few battles to do this time, so we'll start down here. This is the 4-1 against these Germans here. We're not using any air in there at all. It's just the French forces against the Germans. 4 for a 6 is a DE, and they are all deaded. So 3 infantry divisions. Now, they all started in the 19. So let me get rid of them. And we've got the 242, which goes there, the 271 beside it, and the 34th, which was an E. Genova. Okay, so that is damn fine. Happy with that. Right, next let's go to Cherbourg. And we have a 4-1 using these forces here, the 2 American naval support, and 3 Allied air with my house rule of the 1 German air, offsetting it from 5-1 to 4-1. And a 6 is a DE. Yay! Okay, so the 1st SS and the 319th Garrison are done. Righty-o, 1st SS is gone. 319th was a 7 unit. Dum, dum, dum. There it goes. We've used the Americans. We haven't used the British yet. We've used the German air and we've used these Allied air. So they can all goes away. The dice go away. Right, next we have 3 over here. 3 to 1 against these 2 reduced panzer units. We're utilising 1 air for that. Three to 1 for a 5 is a D1. So they're going to lose one of them. They're both the same. So they've lost the 21st Panzer Division, which was a 7 unit. D1. 1 step loss. Attacker retreats them 2 hexes. Right. So we'll get rid of the air. Again. We'll get rid of the dies. Now, he can't retreat here because of zone of control. Can't retreat here for zone of control. The only place he can retreat is here to start with the river breaking the zone of control, and then we can move him back 1 other. And I'm going to move him that way, up there, out of the way. Right, so the next is the 4 to 1, which is the armoured division here against the training unit using 1 air. And the reason I put it onto here rather than here was in case I get an E2. I can't really afford an E2 here. An exchange, yeah, but I've got more chance of an E2 there. And I get a 5 for 4 to 1, which is a DE again. So the training unit is gone. That's a 15 unit. 182nd training. Beautiful. We can remove the dies. We can remove the air. And that leaves us with the 3 to 1 up here. Oh, for a 2 is an E2, and that's what I was saying. Okay, so an E2 up here, we will take on this infantry unit. And what have I got here? And this infantry unit. Mainly because I want to keep the mobility going is the main thing. So that one on there, that one on there, those go away. What did I say? Sorry, E2. So he is gone as well. Single step unit. Again, a 15 unit. The 17th onto there. And that is that. Right. So, except for this little fella here, who managed to retreat. So I'm pretty damned happy with that. So that's our first combat impulse done. We go into our second move impulse. So we may as well start up here and see what we've got. Okay, so I think if we move this little fella here into there along with this little fella, and they can hold that quite sufficiently. That bloke's got 10 there. We've got 8, 16, 22 is a 2 to 1 straight up. He can only move 3. Or we start to block off everything else. It actually moves up to there. We can do this. So we'll go 1, 2, 1, and 1. Patton will come up. 1, 2, 3. Keeping with his forces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This guy, if I move him down into there, we'd have to go bang bangs. I don't want to do that. So at the moment, we will move this guy 1, 2, 1, 2, 1 into there, and bring this fellow over 1, 2, 3, 4 in support. And our poles can move 3, 1, 2 to there, like that. We'll leave him there for the moment. Okay, so then we have all this here. And like I said, what we need to start doing is wrapping these up from this end down. So this bloke can go 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. These guys will go 1, 2. This guy will go 1, 2. He will go, he's just going to stay there for the time being, I think. Bradley will go 1, 2 to there. And Simpson is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. And these 2 armoured units here for the Brits can go 1, 2, 3. And Bradley can look after them for the time being. I'm not worried about moving these French units here. Okay, Cherbourg, let's take it. So we've got these 2 units here that can go 1, 2 into Cherbourg, and we get to roll. And we get a 3, so it's halved down to 4. But that's going to give me 4 more supply capacity. Like that, which takes us back up to 14, which I've got no whinge about at all. Now, we can't move out of there at the moment, but we can go 1, 2 there. These blokes can go 1, 2 to there. With Hodges. And these guys here can go 1 to there. Which leaves us now, we can use the British up there if we want. Is down here. We'll see if we have to use the naval down here. Okay, so we've got this little fella off by himself. And what do we have here? We have 14 and 8 is 22. Oh, okay. And 6 more is 28. 30. That's going to be a hard nut to crack. Okay, so I think we need to get rid of this little fella first. So we're going to go 1 to there, like that. These 2 will come across 1. In fact, these guys will go 1, 2 to there. These guys will go 1, 2 to there. These 2 will come down 1, 2 to there. And this guy will go 1, 2, 3. Which frees up the Americans now to Buggerowski. So these guys here can go 1, 2. These 3 can go 1, 2, 3. And Patch can stay where he is. I think that's fine. Oh, in fact, he can go up 1. And these guys can follow up 1, 2, 3, 4 later. So Patch can go up there. They're still in range there. We can get the other fellas moving and all the rest. which then just leaves us with over here. And what do we wish to do here? Okay. We can move 3 with these guys. 1, 2, 3. So we'll move Monty first. Monty's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 to there. This guy can go 1, 2, it's 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay. What do we have here? It's a fort. And we have 8 is 16. 18. We've got 21. And in here, which we can't reach. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3 to there. And then we are going to go 1, 2, 3 to there. And 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. Like that. So he's going to have to start moving troops around. He doesn't know where I'm going to come in. Huh. Righto. That's the second movement phase. So the second combat impulse. Let's just work it out as we go. We can do that. We have the technology. Okay, so this little fella is sitting up here in the mountains and he's doubled. So he's got 4. We have 5, 11, 16, 17, 21, 25 to 4, which is 6 to 1. Six to 1 for a 1 is an exchange. So he's gone. And we have to lose 1. I don't really want to lose him. Yeah, that's going to be this poor fella. Okay, so the 277th was a 19 unit. Going blind. Okay, done. This is still going to be a hard nut to crack. Very hard nut to crack. But we're getting there. Okay, what's next? We're not attacking anybody over here. We're not attacking anybody in Cherbourg. We are attacking these little fellas over here. So let's see what we got. So we have this little fella who's got a whole 4. And we have 4, 12... and 12 is 24 is a 6 to 1. I didn't move him, did I? Well, no, I did, but yeah, that's as far as I could go. So 6 to 1 for a 6 is, of course, a DE, and he is gone. The 2nd Panzer Division, 15 unit, gone. Which leaves us now with this. Okay, so he has 10. We have 6, 12, 21, 25 to 10. Doesn't really matter. We're using them, but we don't need to. So it's a 2 to 1. Not good. I'll just drag this back a bit so we've got somewhere to actually roll a die. 2 to 1 for a 6 is a D1, and this unit is gone. So the 48th, it's a 15 unit as well. 47, 48. Right. So we've cleared out Ostend. We haven't been able to get in there yet, but we can't argue with that. We have this whole coastline, the Calais coastline now is totally enveloped, and it's just slowly working our way through it. So I can't whinge about that at all. Make sure that I haven't missed anything. No, that's not an attack across there. Nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. Nope, we're good. So we go into the rail control phase. So let's have a look. Okay. So this one is actually here now. That one is still there. And that's cut off there. And there. You don't have to worry about any of this because nothing's coming through to it that way. So that's good. And if we look down this way, we've got cut off there, we're cut off there. And we are cut off there. So we're cut off there as well. That one cuts that off there. That one cuts that off there. They're not going anywhere. There's nothing coming through here because we have partisans. And everything else down the bottom doesn't really matter a great deal. So that's good. Right, which leaves us with the supply phase. So again, looking at our forces here, these are all within range of Montgomery, so they're good. These are all in range of Calais. These are all in range of Patton, Bradley and Simpson, Hodge to the Cherbourg way, and Pathe and De Lattre down to the south. So no, they're all damned fine. Right. I can get rid of that allied control and that one and that one. I don't need them there anymore. And we are, I believe, done. Right. So you can see that the Brits are starting to force their way down and hoping to get a break into Greater Germany and do that. The Canadians can come down and have a look at Metz. The Americans can continue to move along the coast and wrap up everything and try and punch through that way. And we have Dempsey and his Brits that can come on again next time. And I may be able to bring them in at Le Havre. I'll just have to work out which is the best way for them to come. I could bring them in the Mulberry down to the south, but there's still a long way to travel no matter which way we go. But that's fine. Or I can hold them for a little bit longer until we get some more ports. Once we get Ostend, then I could bring them in there and they could help to punch down and around as well. So a couple of different ways of going, which I think is good. So again, thank you very much. And I'll pause it there, stop it there, and then we can come back with the German part of the turn. So I will catch you later. Bye for now. G'day all. Okay, so we're about to go on with the German part of turn 13, the first turn in September. And the first part of that, as usual, is German replacement phase. And because we have only one heavy bomber on German replacements, they actually get a infantry replacement this time. But there's really nowhere to put it. And I don't want to bring back a reduced unit at the moment. So that makes it a bit difficult. So I'm just going to bank that one for them. So they'll have one actual replacement. They get no reinforcements this time. They get a swagger reinforcements next turn, but again, most of them are brigade level or stuff like that. So again, they're not great, but they'll help to fill in some spots. So their biggest problem at the moment is with these guys coming up through here and being able to punch through relatively easy, and Metz being basically left out by itself. So that's what they've really got to look at, and they've got to look at whether they want to retreat out of Brussels. And again, I don't think I'd want to, simply because the things can't really, they'd have to go by rail, but headquarters units can't travel by rail, so all they could do is pull back to Liège, and that's about it, or come back to Arnhem sort of thing. At the moment, at least, they're holding something. So let's see what we can do. So German first movement phase. So again, the other problems we have is we've got all these garrisons up here, these coastal troops. Now, I could flip them and move them, but, you know, these at the moment are worth standing where they are, 10 or 12 defence points. And if I flip them over, they're going to be worth either 4 or 6 defence points. So one of the things I contemplated was maybe flipping some of the ones down this end and just bringing them back to Bologna and so forth like that. But again, that doesn't really achieve anything. So I'm just going to leave these here because they're tying up American forces trying to get them. I'm going to leave what I've got in Arnhem. I don't want to bring anything else forward at the moment, and I'm going to leave what's in Brussels, which doesn't leave a great deal. So if we have a look at the Germans on the West Wall, what I could do is, because there's very, you know, the main force, the core is up here now, getting ready to punch in and take out, well, at least punch through. So what I'm thinking is, if I do a northern slide with some of them to try and get them up here, so we've got a little bit more to attack, well, defend with, I should say, may be worthwhile. I don't want to move any armour across the river because I can't afford to lose any. This is the only unit that's across the river at the moment that can move, and the troops in Metz. So what I was contemplating was to bring this 4-3 unit up to here. And that, well, in fact, up to here. So then they can just slide around this way. So that's what I mean. In here, I've got another 4-3 unit. So it could move across to here, and that's as far as it could go. And then I could bring another 4-3 unit up, 1-2 to there sort of thing. no matter what I do is not going to be good enough at the moment. That's the trouble. Now, the only thing that the Germans were supposed to do this time is flip 3 training units over to their normal side, but all those training units have already been taken out. And by the same token, Rommel was supposed to swap over to model, but Rommel's already done that as well. So, yeah, there's really nothing I can do. Okay. Let's forget about Metz. We've got 243 units here. So I'm going to bring the first unit back 1, 2, 3 into here. And I'm going to bring the other unit back 1, 2, 3 into Saarbrücken as well. Now, he'll move in the second. He's moved. I'm going to bring this unit up 1, 2 to there. This unit will go across 1. This 4-3 unit will go 1, 2 to there. The paras will go 1, 2 to there. We've got a 5-3 unit here, which will come over 1, 2 to von Rundstadt. This SS unit here, I think I'm going to start pulling these fellas back. So they're going to come back to here with this, with the 30th SS. So we have a SS Kampfgruppe, and we have another one here, so he can go 1, 2, 3 up with modal. Yeah, blank, bulk. This guy can come out. He is halved going into rough. So you can go 1, 2, 3. Like that. This guy can come up. No, he can stay there. And that's really about all I can do down there. Again, up north, I don't really want to move anything at the moment. So that's that. So we'll go into the first combat impulse. We're all in fortifications, so we don't have to attack. There's nothing here, and nothing there. So there is no attacky stuff. We go into the second move impulse. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these parrots can only move 1. So he goes to there. This guy will go, he can't go anywhere now because he's still in a zone of control even though he doesn't have to attack. Oops. This guy will go 1, 2 into there. This little fella will come across 1 into here. This unit will just simply go to there. Von Rundstadt is going to come back with him. This little fella and modal will move to here. This little fella will go to here. These two will go into Freiburg. And these will move one to there. Like that. So we've shifted our front north. It's not great. Oh, and Brandenburger here will go 1, 2, 3 into there. I don't think there's a great deal more I can do there. And that's it. And then we have, of course, what's down south. So we have Sondenstern down here with what was a training unit and a garrison unit or coastal defence unit. But they need to hold Marseille. Yeah, I know that these can all go swanning off or down around this way and all the rest of it. This guy, I'm just leaving him there because he's gonna have to suck troops up to actually take him, or at least suck troops up this way just to hold him so he doesn't come back and take everything. So yeah, forlorn hope. Same sort of shit up here and all the rest of it. So that's about that. We go into the second combat impulse. We don't have to do anything. And we go into the rail control phase. And again, the rail's still all sort of cut off. They can get into Brussels, but yeah. The rail is basically cut off from this point back. German supply phase. So everybody's well within a leader's radius. They're in a fortress or they're in a fortified town or city. Same up here, and all this is well. So there's no hassles there. And we simply go to the end of turn segment and we can remove the can't move off the Americans there. We can remove the air off the bridge attacks. I don't think there was anything else at all. So, yeah. So next turn, the Germans will pick up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 armoured brigades. There are 2 6. They'll pick up their Tiger battalion, which is only a 2-5 unit. They'll pick up 2, 3, 4, 5 infantry divisions. Some are 3-3, some are 4-3. A couple of headquarters troops. And Reinhard becomes student. Reinhard up here in Rotterdam. Be swapped out for Kurt student. So that's it. It's just getting the pieces there. That's the main thing. That's their main lot. And then, of course, once we get up into December, that was the Ardennes offensive, is when we will be looking at getting more stuff. But the trouble is we've got to put a lot of stuff in November into the withdrawal for the Panzer Reserve, and all those units are basically gone, which means if we've got any Panzer stuff, we're probably going to have to take them instead. So, yeah, not looking good for the Germans at all, which historically it wasn't. So I think from an Allied point of view, we're doing quite well. So I will leave it there. Don't want to waffle on too long. And when we come back, we'll go into the September 2nd week, which will be turn 14. So take care. I hope I haven't screwed up too much, more than I usually do. And I will catch you next time. Bye for now.